Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort in Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Going to do one cast today. It is Wednesday the 5th of March, correct? Yes. It's 5:37. We got quite a bit of rain last night. The amount, I guess, wasn't a lot, maybe 1.5 inches, but how it came down, it really kind of muddied up the lake. I'm up in the trophy area, which it actually is I think it's a really good color. I'd love for this to be colored up like this all the time. And we've got quite a bit of activity on the surface. Fish are midging. It's not, I know it. It's not horrible downstream. Down in below Fall Creek, it's not bad. Maybe a little bit dirtier than this, and as you go down further, it gets a little bit dirtier. There's a fair amount of leaves and debris in the water. Up here, not so much. I'm not sure why. I think, down below Fall Creek is where you start to see quite a bit of leaves and sticks and stuff. So Blake was up here fishing on a trip a little bit earlier, and so he gave me a report, and he said a black jig did the best. So I've got a black 32nd ounce on. I'm really tempted to go shallower because of these rising fish, but he said he was fishing 5 to 6 foot deep, and they caught quite a few. I don't think anything very big. So there's really no wind. The only thing I could give you a suggestion on how to fish this down below in the dirtier water is Blake said that he turned his live scope on around the dock, and he said a lot of the fish were 5 and 6 foot deep. Typically, I think when you have dirty water, the trout do stay closer to the surface. So instead of throwing out and fishing on the bottom, even if you're using power bait, I got him in the head. That's kind of weird. Even if you're fishing power bait, I'd fish under a float, and I'd fish it 5 or 6 foot deep in that dirty water. They're not supposed to run water tomorrow, so we're still looking at the same colored water tomorrow. So I gotta grab this guy. Actually got him in the eye socket. Not in the eye, in the eye socket. Not above the eye. And it's supposed to be pretty warm tomorrow with very little wind. There is a chance of, they said, severe thunderstorms at some point tomorrow, so we'll be watching for that. You can probably catch fish on the bottom too, but I'd definitely try that float. If you don't want to throw a jig, buy a little jig head and put some power bait on it. Fish it under a float. Missed him. It's pretty amazing. These fish have, I've been here 43 years, and they've just always hit jigs under a float. Had some people from Mississippi show me it the first summer I was here, how to throw a jig and fish it under a float. It just works. And doesn't really imitate anything they eat. Blake said he did catch some fish on a mega worm. He said black jig was the best. I would definitely try it down below Fall Creek. There is a little bit of current, so I am moving just a little bit. I'm sure the lake's still draining out since from the rain. They did run a little bit of water this morning for a couple hours, and I'm sure that's why this water is just a little less dirty. It's a big difference between last night and this evening as far as everything. Running water, dark, cloudy, rainy. When I left the dock, you know, the water was just barely running. And by the time I got to the dam, it was running pretty hard. And I really kind of wish I had brought my inflatable life jacket. I should have put my other rare life jacket on. Thought about it a couple times. Blake went crappie fishing over at Bridgeport, which is on the James River arm of Table Rock, and the crappie were pretty grumpy today. And then my buddy Paul Cruz and his brother Martin, not Martin, yeah, Martin, went up the Spring River and caught some white bass today. Oh man, he just barely hit that. Ah, had him for a second. They are not hitting it very hard. I'm going to bring it in a little closer where I can really see that float. I about gave up on that one. You could probably catch them on a zebra midge. You could target these fish that are coming up. A little one. Oh, he's got a spot on him. Just one side. Ah! He came up and hit the float. Oh. I'm not sure. I don't think that was a bite. That is. Well, kind of small tonight. Oh my gosh, he's got a belly. That belly, he's just barely hooked. Ah! I might do this whole video not even dropping my trolling motor in the water. Pulled out. Hit it again. You just couldn't stand it. Ooh, he's got a belly too. These guys have a lot to eat after the rain. You know, a lot of worms, a lot of bugs. I was gonna see how far I've drifted. A couple of 100 yards. A little bigger. A little longer. He's pretty skinny. There you go. Ah. Perfect, dude. It's exactly where you don't want to shut down, right where he's throwing the biggest wake. I did that to one time to Bruce Johnson years ago. He was a guide for us. And I pulled up to him just like that and shut it down right on him. The wake just sent him to the floor. He was ticked. And I, kind of like that guy, I just didn't have a clue at that time. Oh, that's a good fish. Didn't have a clue. Because I pulled up and said, "How you doing, Bruce?" And I waved at him, and then about that time the wave hit him. And I go, "Oh my gosh." I mean, it sent him to the floor. So if you're gonna slow down before you get to the person, then idle past, and then when you get by him, take off. Or, I mean, I don't care. He could have went by me at 100 feet, and I don't. That's just fine with me. What am I doing? But that's exactly what you don't want to do. It's just education, you know. I've had it done to me so many times it doesn't bother me unless it gets dangerous. Here we go. About 16 inches. I think it was still dropping. Like I said, I like this colored water. This is probably what Blake and his client did earlier. Wow. Do you think there's a lot of fish in here? I mean, I'm getting a bite just about on every cast. Pretty. As soon as I say bite on every cast, then I don't get a bite. A little bigger one. Pretty. Okay, one more and I gotta go. I gotta stop sometime. Nice one. Maybe a little over 12. It's pretty though. Okay. That was fun. Knew I should have brought more shot.